Alright, I have decided what I want to do here to get the capacitors in to the chassis. What I'm going to do is drill a hole thereabouts, somewhere in there, to mount a nut and washer, to mount a terminal strip on the underside of the chassis. And this is a terminal strip with a ground connector, because the negative of the filter can goes to ground. So I'm going to do the same thing with the other capacitors and components. So all I gotta do is take my trusty drill the hole, and start on soldering underneath, mark connections, take pictures, and then mount the capacitors. And it shouldn't take that long, and then I'll get the filter caps in, and then we'll see where we are. After a couple of attempts to get it right as to the screw length, I thought I could chop the end of a screw off to make it long and the right length, but I ended up just messing up the threads. But it really doesn't matter. But here it is. Here's the terminal strip. Here it is installed, and here it is on the chassis side. Can't really see it there, but there, now you can. New screw right there, and we'll start transferring components. And then I'll just leave the filter in, disconnected, but it'll be in there. Video. I got a few comments about the radio and its general performance and such, and about some of the things that are going on with it. One of the suggestions, and I didn't think of this, but it's one of those things, was to clean the tube sockets, because dirty tube sockets can cause popping. So the first thing I am going to do is take just a paintbrush to it, just to clean it off, because if I'm going to clean the tube sockets, might as well have the other stuff. It's not terribly dirty at all, so it must have been in a clean environment, but I will clean it off there. And then to clean the tube sockets, just spray some of my contact cleaner in it and work the sockets, work the tubes in and out and such, and something to do in the 10 minutes before I have to leave for work today. Alright, I did a quick cleaning of the chassis with the paintbrush and some contact restore in there. As I was taking the tubes out, I noticed something. And you might not be able to see this. It might not focus too well. Yeah, it's not going to. But the date code on all of the tubes is the 52nd week of 1966. Some of them, like this one, Zenith, made in Germany. So, kind of cool. And this is a 12DT8. There's a couple like that. Most of the other ones are like this with the yellow Zenith logo and made in the USA. This is the rectifier, the 35C5. And it has a different date code that I can't make out. But with that writing, it's kind of hard to see. I think this one was sourced from General Electric. Alright, that's the quick update. Alright, we're getting ready to replace the capacitors here. And I'm waiting for a replacement tube, because like an idiot I dropped the 12DT8 and the filament broke. The tube didn't shatter, thankfully, but the filament broke. So transfer stuff from the capacitor to the terminal strip, and then put the capacitors in, and then at least get it out of the way, but have the filter capacitor replaced, and then see what other issues that we have. Alright, I have the filter capacitors replaced. Turn this a little bit so you can see it just a little better. Okay, I have 68 microfarad replacing the 60, a 100 microfarad replacing the 80, and then a 47 replacing the 40, a rectifier diode, capacitor that was bridged across the diode, and then a 220 ohm resistor has a voltage divider, and then had to reroute some wiring, of course. This and this lead, but pretty much stayed the same. Ran things through a different hole. Now I just have to wait for a friend to send me a 12 DT8 tube, because I, like an idiot, when cleaning out the tube sockets, didn't watch, and the 12 DT8 rolled off the table, hit the ground, and the filament broke. The tube didn't break, but the filament is open. And I have someone sending me a tube because I looked at eBay and the prices are ridiculous, which is a whole different subject. But that's all for today's update.